Hello, my name is Ortez, and welcome back to another podcast episode of Insure Your Success, where we have real conversations about the journey on entrepreneurship. And so today, what I want to do is I want to share with you my personal principles for entrepreneurship. And these principles are not principles that I made up. These principles come from various books that I have read, also from successful entrepreneurs who have mentored me along my journey. And so I want to share with you some of these principles that have helped me along my journey, especially during these last 10 years. And hopefully, some of these principles could help you. So let's jump right into it. So, principle number one, entrepreneurship, principle number one is having a definite a purpose. And I got this principle when I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which I highly recommend that you read that book if you haven't already read that book. One of the best self help books out there. I really like Napoleon Hill's style of writing and how he delivers the message of success. But if you want to go a step further, I also recommend that you read Dr. Dennis Kimbro's version, Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, which Dr. Dennis Kimbro was commissioned by the Napoleon Hill Foundation to write that book. So I advise you to read both books if you get a chance. But the first thing that you must have is a definite purpose, which Napoleon Hill describes that as the starting point of all achievement. You must have a purpose, and your purpose must be bigger than money. It must be bigger than money. Many people enter entrepreneurship with a money first mindset or a lifestyle mindset only to be disappointed because it's nothing easy about entrepreneurship, which many people realize that a lot sooner than later. So you got to have a definite purpose, and it has to be written down. It has to be something that you read and that you internalize on a daily basis, because it's that purpose that's going to get you through the tough times. It's that purpose that's going to help you stay focused, which is important because it's a lot of things that come our way. It's a lot of opportunities out there. People come at me with opportunities, business opportunities all the time. And a lot of them are some good opportunities, but I have a purpose. And so I stay focused on my purpose because I don't want to get distracted from my purpose and from my vision. And so that's what a definite purpose is going to do. Because if you don't have a purpose, you're going to be easily distracted and you're going to find yourself jumping from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, never making any headway. So you must have a definite purpose. Number two, the second principle is prayer. And as an entrepreneur, you're gonna need a whole lot of prayer. Right. Prayer is important. Now you may ask, well, why prayer is not number one? Well, you must have some purpose behind your prayer. A lot of times people pray, but they pray without a purpose. Some people pray because somebody told them that's what they had to do. Um, People pray because that's a ritual. Due to their faith is a ritual. Like for me, I'm a Muslim, and it's a ritual that we pray 5 times a day. But your prayer has to have purpose. Got to have some purpose behind it. Other than that, you really just uttering words, right? Because you don't have no feeling behind that. So number one, you must have a purpose of why you want to be an entrepreneur, why you want to do this business, and you must be able to articulate that. It must be written down, right? Most people when I come say, "Why you got in the business?" I just want to make money. I want to, create a legacy. Just real. They are really vague in what they are saying. It's no purpose behind it, right? So you must have some purpose, and then you must follow up that purpose with prayer. And your prayer needs to have some purpose too as well. And then number three, applied faith. And notice I say the word applied before faith. Applied faith, meaning that you must have some faith with some action, right? Action. Action faith is what I like to call it, but applied faith. That's number three. So first, you must have a purpose, a strong purpose, prayer, and then you got to go to work. You got to have faith in what you're doing, and you must go to work. It is not enough to have faith to say that you believe and you will not be tested. Right? You will be tested. Your faith will be tested. And the way to overcome those tests is by going to work, by having applied faith. You got to have a strong faith. You have to have a faith a faith that is in action at all times. You have to live that. You shouldn't have to tell a person, yes, I have faith in what I'm doing. They should be able to see that you have faith in what you're doing through your actions. So that's number three, applied faith. Number four, you got to take the initiative. You got to get off the couch. You got to get off the bench. You got to get into the game. You got to take the initiative. One of the mistakes I made early on when I first got into entrepreneurship, I thought I needed to do everything before I went to work. Before I took the initiative, I just thought I needed to do everything. And what that did, as I saw other individuals pass me up in income and in success, and I knew more than those individuals, but those individuals took what they had, whether it was little or small, and they took the initiative. And so you got to take the initiative. You're going to learn more by doing than just trying to learn everything, by reading and, role playing and, I got to know this, I got to go to this course, I got to go to that class, I got to know this, I got to know that. You're going to learn by doing. And that's taking the initiative. You got to take the initiative. And so that's number four. Number five, you got to go the extra mile. You got to push yourself, right? It's just like exercise. You run 1 mile, and you say, you know what, today let me try to push myself to run 1.5 miles. Or, let me push myself to run 2 miles today. You got to go the extra mile. I remember one of my mentors saying that. He said, when you get tired and you done made that 100 phone call and you done got 20 no's for the day, you got to pick up that phone one more time and say, you know what? I'm going to make 101 phone call, because it may be that extra phone call you made may be that sale. So you got to go the extra mile. That's what's going to separate you from the pack. That's what's going to separate you. And that's what's going to excel. That's what's going to excel your success, by going the extra mile. So you got to be willing to go the extra mile, and you got to go the extra mile. You got to show that you are willing to go the extra mile for your people. If you got staff, you can't expect your people, the people that work for you, to go the extra mile when they don't see you going the extra mile. That you're not going the extra mile you don't go the extra mile for them, and you don't go the extra mile for your own business. I see that a lot of times. Entrepreneurs want their team to go the extra mile for their business, and they're not going the extra mile for their own business. So you have to be willing to go the extra mile. Remember, all eyes on you. All eyes is on you. So you got to be willing to go the extra mile. Number 6, Mastermind Alliance. Mastermind Alliance. You have to surround yourself with the right people. Dr. Dennis Kimbro often says that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to change the room. You have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. A mastermind alliance. I'm saying allowance, but mastermind alliance. You have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. You have to be in a circle where you are learning from, and they are also learning from you too as well to help you excel in business. A mastermind alliance, I often say, is better than getting a 4-year college degree. It 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 accelerates the learning curve. Something that may take you 2, 3, 4 years to learn, you can learn in a matter of months by surrounding yourself with the right people. So take a look at your circle. Who is in your circle that you talk to about business? Who are you getting advice from? So you got to have a mastermind alliance. Alliance. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying the word alliance, but alliance. Okay. So that's number 6. Number 7, cooperation of others. If you're an entrepreneur, I want you, and if you are saying this, please stop saying this. I'ma just do me. It's no such thing as doing you as an entrepreneur. I haven't met a successful entrepreneur who just did them. You can't build an empire by yourself. Now, you can make some money doing you, but you are not going to build a successful business, or you're not going to become wealthy or create a legacy by just doing you. It takes a collective effort. Like the saying say, it takes a village to raise a child, and that's true. And that's a topic for another conversation, but we have gotten away from that in the African American community, taking a village to raise a child. These days, you can't tell somebody else child nothing, and it becomes a confrontation. But the same principle applies to entrepreneurship, cooperation of others. It takes a village. It takes a collective effort to build a successful business. And so you got to learn how to get along with people. Cooperation of others, right? You have to find individuals that you collectively work with, and there's some reciprocity going on, and everybody is winning. They're sharing with you, you're sharing with them, and you all are collectively are working together to achieve a higher purpose. And you got to learn the cooperation of others if you hire people. Right? You just can't hire people and you don't know how to treat them. Else you're not going to have employees or people want to work with you for a long period of time, and you're going to find yourself by you, and then you go get in your feelings talking about, well, I'm gonna just do me, and the problem is just really you. So Mastermind Alliance, which was number 6, cooperation of others is number 7, and number 8 is something we all struggle with on a daily basis, is discipline. And so let's talk about discipline a little bit. So what do I mean by discipline? It's 3 things that you have to have discipline over. Number one, you have to have discipline with your time. Number two, discipline with your money. And number three, discipline with your thoughts. And so, of course, we know that time waits for no one. You cannot get time back. So you have to be mindful of your time at all times. You have to be mindful. Where are you spending your time? Are you spending your time on the things that's going to help you grow? Or are you spending with your time on things that's not going to help you grow? So you have to have discipline over your time. You only have so much time in a day. So you have to maximize your time. I'll give you an example. Um, for me personally, majority of my energy is in the morning. From, I'm at my peak pretty much. I wake up around 4 something in the morning, after me waking my body up. But I know I'm a a person. Typically around 3 o'clock, I find myself slowing down, right? I'm not as energized, after 3 o'clock. So I have to maximize my time. My mornings is really important that I maximize my time and get as much as I could get done and be focused, from the time I wake up in the morning to about 3 o'clock. Because I know that's the peak. That's my peak. Then after 3 o'clock, I tend to, my energy level tends to start to drift, and pretty much by 7 o'clock, pretty much, as they say, I'm brain dead, right? So you gotta maximize your time. Number two, discipline. You have to have discipline with your time. Number two, you have to have discipline with your money. That's really important. It's easy to spend your money, especially when you making money and you think that's how it's gonna be forever. It's easy to fall in that trap. So you got to be disciplined with your money. Because some months is good, you may have some months that's bad. And you're gonna regret if you spend some money on some things you should have when money was good, because you're gonna need that money when things are bad. So you gotta you gotta be disciplined with your money, right? One of the things about being a boss is everybody got to get paid before you. It's part of it. You got to pay your people first. You got to pay your bills first, right? Your business bills, even before your house bills. Because if you don't pay your business bills and you have no business, therefore you can't make no money. So you have to be real disciplined with your money. Got to be disciplined with it. Um, you can't go out to eat, you know, every day or every other day. You got to pack that lunch. You got to pack that lunch. Um, Sometimes you got to say no. You get that phone call from your homeboy, your homegirl. They going out, they going to do this, they going to do that. They having a weekend getaway. You got to be able to say no. Got to be disciplined with your money. The last thing you got to be disciplined with is your thoughts. And that's the one right there that I know I struggle with personally, because there's a lot of thoughts that go, through our head. You know, we have good thoughts, we have bad thoughts. I think I read somewhere where every day we have about 10,000 thoughts go through our head. And I often ask the question, how many of those thoughts are good? How many of those thoughts are bad? So you have to monitor your thoughts. And I think this is the struggle for all entrepreneurs. No matter how successful that you are, you have to monitor your thoughts, because it's your thoughts that could cause you to get undisciplined in areas like your time and like your money, right? Your thoughts could be, I got time. And then you find yourself on social media scrolling, for 2, 3 hours when you should have been doing something else, right? I can make that money back, right? I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a boss. I can make that money back. Or, I don't got to go to work today. I work when I want to work because I'm a boss, right? Your thoughts play all those games on you. So you have to be mindful of your thoughts, and you got to discipline your thoughts. And last but not least, to wrap these principles up, is a positive mental attitude. You must have a positive mental attitude at all times. And I know we live in a world today where it's a lot of negative things that are going on, but you have to remain positive at all times. As a boss, when things get bad, people are looking to you for leadership. I often tell people it's easy to be a boss when things are going good. You know, I hear this, people always say I'm a boss, and typically they only say that, when money is flowing, right? As soon as they lose money, then you don't hear that. That's not a definition of a boss. When things are going bad, I want to see how you react when things go bad, not when they're going good. It's easy for anybody to be a boss when things are going good, but you gotta have, and it's easy to have a positive mental attitude when things are going good. But can you have that same positive mental attitude when things are going bad? That's the definition of a boss. So you got to maintain a positive mental attitude at all times. You got to put things in place to help you to have that positive mental attitude. You got to have a routine. Surround yourself with the right people so you can have that positive mental attitude. You got to be conscious of what you're letting in your mind, what you're reading, what you're viewing. You got to be conscious of that. So, just to kind of recap the principles that I follow, my entrepreneur principles. That's what I call it, my principles for success. And these are principles that I read every day, every morning, and that kind of governs me. Number one, you must have a definite purpose. It must be bigger than money. Number two, you must have prayer, but your prayer need to have purpose. So that's why purpose is number one. You must pray, but pray with purpose. Number three, apply faith. As they say, uh, faith without works is dead. Applied faith, uh, actionable faith. Number four, you must take the initiative. You must take the initiative. Stop waiting for other people to take the initiative for you. You must take the initiative. Number five, you must go the extra mile. You must go the extra mile. Number two, mastermind alliance. Surround yourself with the right people, the right group. Number seven, cooperation of others. You must learn how to work with others and what that is. Number eight, discipline. Discipline with your time, your money, and your thoughts. And number nine, you must have a positive mental attitude. And I'm gonna throw in another one as a bonus. And I don't have it written here, but I've been reading a book on the power of focus. Can't think of the author's name right off the top of my head, but you must have focus. You must remain focused to the end. You must remain focused until you achieve the purpose that you desire. So hopefully, uh, these principles can help you as they have helped me, if not all, maybe some. But I challenge you to write some principles for yourself. Have some governing principles, because if you have governing principles, then it's going to help you achieve the success that you're looking for. It's going to help you stay on that track that you need to stay on and not be distracted by all what's going on. So I wanted to share with you all some of these principles of success. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the love and the support. I've been getting some real good feedback on for this podcast. We've been having some phenomenal guests. Looking at to have some more guests on the podcast. And if you would like to be a guest, please feel free to reach out to me. We would love to hear your journey, the journey that you're on as an entrepreneur. So if you could do me a favor, like, subscribe, share this with other entrepreneurs, and leave a comment. I need some comments. So leave a comment. We appreciate all the love once again and all the support. Until next time, this is Ortez with Insure Your Success, the journey of the entrepreneur, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.